Okay, so have you ever landed in Spain and the second the wheels touch down, the whole plane just erupts in applause? It's this really charming, kind of peculiar travel moment. Well, today we're going to get into the story behind it, and let me tell you, its roots in history are probably not what you're expecting.
It's the big question, right? Why did people do this? Is it just a quirky local custom? A simple, hey, thanks to the pilot? Or is there something way bigger going on here? Don't worry, we're about to solve this little mystery together.
So just picture it for a second. You've been flying for hours, you feel that little bump, that jolt as the wheels finally hit the runway, and you hear the roar of the engines in reverse. You're home, or at least you're on solid ground. Your journey's pretty much over. And that's when it happens. The seatbelt sign isn't even off yet, and suddenly you hear it, a clap, then another, and then it just spreads through the whole cabin. It feels so spontaneous, right? Like this shared moment of celebration. But here's the thing. It's not random at all. It's a real tradition, and the reason for it is just fascinating. To really get this, we have to rewind the clock. A lot. See, the answer isn't in our modern world of super safe, totally routine flights. No, the roots of this tradition go way back to a time when flying was a completely different beast. Let's go back to the 1950s. Commercial flying was still pretty new, and it wasn't this predictable bus ride in the sky like it is today. It was a genuine, nail-biting adventure. The technology was shakier, weather forecasting was, let's say, less than perfect, and engine trouble, yeah, that was a very real, very scary possibility. Honestly, every single flight was a bit of a gamble. And you have to think about what that felt like. A safe landing wasn't just, oh good, we're here. It was a victory. A real moment of, phew, just profound relief. It meant you'd actually made it. The adventure had a happy ending. This wasn't just travel, it was a triumph over the odds. Okay, so we've got the history part down, the danger, the relief, but that still leaves a question. Why did that feeling turn into applause? And why specifically in Spain? Well, that brings us to the second huge piece of this puzzle, the culture itself. The Spanish are, famous for being passionate, for being expressive. Big public displays of emotion are just a totally normal part of the culture. They applaud a matador's skill in a bullfight. They go absolutely wild for a goal in a football match. So when you take that expressive, passionate nature and you mix it with that intense feeling of relief from a safe landing, well, the applause just makes perfect sense, doesn't it? So you see how these two threads, the history of risk and the culture of expression, they start to weave together. This tradition, it turns out, isn't just about making noise. It's about something much, much deeper. We could look at this and say it's just a simple habit, right? A polite way to say thanks to the flight crew. And sure, that's probably part of it. But that really misses the heart of it. This tradition is actually a powerful, collective celebration of being alive. It's everyone on that plane sharing a moment, acknowledging that they made it through the journey, even if the risk is so much smaller today. So, what is the landing applause really? It's so much more than just a sound. You could almost call it a romantic way of saying thank you, not just to the pilot, but to the journey, to luck, to life itself, for bringing us all home safe and sound. And at the end of the day, it all just boils down to these four simple, powerful words. We made it back. That's it. That is the core emotion. It's this shared feeling of gratitude and relief that's been passed down through generations of travelers, echoing the feelings of those very first, very brave flyers all those decades ago. So let's break it down one last time. The anatomy of this tradition is actually pretty clear. It starts with real historical danger, when flying was a gamble. It gets filtered through a passionate, expressive culture. And what you get is a tradition with a really deep emotional meaning, a collective celebration of making it home. So the next time you land in Spain and you hear that applause start to build, you'll know. It's not just a habit. It's this beautiful living echo of history. It really makes you wonder, what other small, everyday traditions out there are carrying their own big stories? Thanks so much for joining us.